to the cloud. Now we're recording. Excellent. So, yeah, that's my deal. That's my intro. So take it away. Questions? Anybody want to ask whatever they want? We got 10 minutes per group, and then we're going to rotate through. So if you hang out here for an hour, you'll see everybody.
Fausto, what you got?
I just wanted to ask you guys real quick. I know that you used the web RTC for the video chat, which was hot. Besides the usual frameworks like React and all the frameworks, what other frameworks do you guys have to use, or you just keep it real with native hardcore languages? But do you use any other framework?
Yeah, so yeah, besides like the normal like React stuff, as far as just like different technologies, we did use Firebase for our database, and that was like that's what did the real-time messaging between the users. So we used the Firestore for that, and also as far as just like with the application, as far as like the design is concerned, we utilize Bootstrap. Yeah, it was basically the same technologies that you're accustomed to, but we just added, of course, the WebRTC, Simple Pair, use Socket.io, and that was it.
Who was the UI UX?
DNI. It was DNI and Sam, actually. Sam.
It was a little bit of everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
It was definitely a little bit of everybody.
Across the board,
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I think the wireframe helped us a lot in designing, and our mentor Sarah, which gave us pointers on how users want to see everything work out. And it was a real nice touch.
And we were designing up until what time? 1 o'clock this morning, 2 o'clock this morning, or something like that. So we appreciate that you guys enjoyed it.
How long did you guys have for to complete the capstone project? How long?
10 weeks.
10 weeks. 10 weeks. Yeah.
10 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
No, it was not rushed. I mean, it was a lot of things to do, but
yeah,
it was a lot to do.
Yeah, it was a lot. But yeah, we just appreciate that you guys loved it, and it's just a testament to how hard we've worked, and you were a part of that journey as well, so you know how hard it is, and we're happy.
No, I was watching photos and recordings from us at the beginning, and it was like two different groups, like the questions that we used to ask, and now see you guys putting all that actually in place. It's surprising and amazing. Top of my head, I love that. I don't know if it was you guys or most of the groups, they put like former, you guys, former, that part, it was really a good touch, because it means a lot in the journey that you guys are taking, and from this point on it's gonna be more challenging, that.
Of course. We got a lot more work to put in, and it never stops. It's a forever like lifelong learning experience, because it's like every time you think like you know something, you might have mastered this, it's like every app, every problem, every situation is completely different. We've learned the tool, like the tools that we can use, and we have the foundation, but like every project is a new learning experience. So it's a long road, but I'm happy about it. I don't know about the rest of the guys, but I'm happy, and I'm pretty sure they are too.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like, sometimes working on projects, you're like, dang, like, I can't get this thing, like, why is it not working? And I think we always have to like stop and just like look back at how far we've come. Like 12 months ago, we didn't know what Git was. We were like, what is that? And now we're building like these full stack applications with all this cool functionality. So like, definitely a lifelong journey, but we've come so far, and I'm happy that it shows through our work. So yeah.
And don't forget, Will, listen, Will, you're here with us.
Exactly.
You're here with us. You're a part of this journey. So
Believe me, I'm still
you're
coding.
part of it. Yeah, of course.
We need to, because after this, we need to brainstorm ideas together, guys. There's a lot of things to do. We need to brainstorm, come up with something great. Marvin, the project that they did, he was talking about that since the beginning of the whole class. Like he was
Really?
talking about that. He's a musician, and he found a way on how to put it in place. I was like, oh, we just talked about that. Not just, we talked about it, and actually he kept with that idea. He made it grow, and it was really good. All of them, and I think that I told you that this before, guys, but I went to the capstone last year, the live one, because no pandemic or whatsoever, and I can tell you the following. Last year capstone, the only one that I remember that, yes, hold on, duties here in the house, hold on. I can open, okay.
Strong man.
Got it. So besides, I think was Caroline's, that was her capstone last year. It was really good, that the app overall. This capstones is a really hard word. All of the apps, all of the projects were on point. No flaws, all of them. Like I was like, shit, this one is good. Excuse my French. This was good. There was and everybody put something else into place. You guys put the web RT in place. Doug's with his signing with Google was really hot. It was good. I was like, what's going on?
We're real developers, huh?
yeah. Like compared to last capstone, it was overall all of them. You guys rocked. So
you're not saying that because you're part of the family.
and now that the places are open, we need to get together, guys, before it's too cold.
I agree 100%.
Yes.
We gotta do it.
I'm always down.
I want to do some karaoke like the last time.
I'm down.
Remember that, D?
Some outdoor karaoke. I was at Prospect Park the other day, and they were doing outdoor karaoke. It was pretty wild. A guy walking around with a speaker and a battery and walking up to groups of people and getting them to sing karaoke.
Wow.
That was the thing.
That's cool. I like that.
We got 1 minute left, I think. If you all have a final question. I don't know how you all are doing it, but anybody that is not in the group, please stay. And all the other groups will rotate through here one at a time. So please hang out, ask your questions, fill out the feedback, whatever you want to do. How do you feel now you're done? That's my question. I mean, never done, right? You still got stuff to do, but still got features to add.
Yeah, done with this presentation, but
right.
Now I gotta get a job.
That's easy. That's no problem.
Sign me up.
Weird, right? That's easy. Okay.
Available today.
No, that is definitely the hard part, but all y'all are talented, and you'll get it. It might take some time though.
I don't know if you guys see, if you saw this meme that somebody posted in Slack. That is actually something. It was funny. It was a joke. It was a meme, but it's something always it is something that it makes you think about the whole industry. The meme was the following. It was saying this experience required for jobs is getting out of control. I just applied for a job that required 4 years of fast API developing, but I don't have it. I just created a technology a year and a half ago, and I
I saw that one. I saw that one.
clicked on the
That's
link
right.
API, and actually he was the one who developed it. So
That's good.
it's ridiculous the amount of experience and unnecessary things that job postings they required. But what I can tell you is the following: don't sell yourself short. Just apply, say that you can do what you know, and just put it out there, because if it's
Right.
all these requirements are not necessary. At the end, is you. It's what you can bring to the table. It's you know this. You know about this.
Yes,
Right,
sir.
that's right.
Do we
All right,
move
y'all.
to the other room?
Gotta rotate.
Yeah. Thank you
All
for
right,
your time,
well,
guys.
Thank you.
keep in touch. You got my number, Will. Hit me up, bro.
Yeah, I will.
All right.
Well, man.
Thanks, Zubio.
It's great to see you, man.
I am Brandon.
Hey, Will.
What's up, Will? What's going on?
Oh, Jay
Oh,
Fowler.
man. How you doing, bro? It's great to see
Barbershops are open. What's going on?
you. Nah, this is my quarantine sheet.
For your fall look, for fall. Look at Doug.
Gotta
Hey, Will, what's up?
You doing, man?
We're pulling through.
Got it. I was just telling to the other group that all of the projects looked amazing. Everybody put something special on each of the projects. Like you guys with the Google sign in thing, it was hot. Like everybody was like, "Oh, Google sign in!" That was hot, man. Congratulations.
So, Brandon.
Looks pretty, looks good. The whole idea, the concept, apparently, everybody liked it, and it's a journey, like we were saying before. And from here on, there you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
There it is. Yeah, ask away. We got about 8 minutes now. A little bit extra time for the first guys, but a little less time for you all. So yeah, what do you all want to know?
I mean, what would be interesting to know, guys, what other technologies did you have to use? What frameworks did you have to use besides the Google Maps API? For CSS, did you guys use any specific framework or technology besides CSS?
So for framework, we used Material UI, which was suggested for us.
Mm-hmm.
That was a learning curve of its own, but it came in handy when we not necessarily had to nitpick like where something belonged. We could use what was given to us for like styling the buttons, styling how it works. All these buttons right here were given to us. All we had to add was the functionality behind it. And then I guess you guys can talk about the APIs. So that was for the framework. Now the technologies for the APIs, which is what really drives our itinerary builder. I guess you guys can talk about that.
So you already know about Google Maps, but Google Places is also a separate API, and Google Places is what drives the Google autocomplete as well as the location grab. So that is how, when you begin to type New York, it just knows New York. And that was a special task all on its own. And they cost a whole lot each time we run the calls.
Didn't put it easy.
Yeah, I'm curious how you're limiting like your costs there.
There's
So
actually 2 API keys that we had to create because of that.
And then to get all the events and restaurants, that was Yelps API. It was actually 2 like quote unquote different APIs that were used. One of them to utilize basically this part that you're seeing right here, the location, rating, distance, as well as a picture. And when you click down on that drop down, it's another API with different other parameters used to give you like a price estimator, hours and location, as well as reviews. This one I like because I had a little bit of, I've used it before with another project we did. And it was just the second information right here was a little hard for me because I was under the impression that I was using that original API key. Doug had to help me and maybe realize that it was a second kind of request we had to do. And then any, this is straight based off of Yelp's database. So if there was not even a picture, I had to make like an if then statement saying that if there is no picture, I had a default picture that I upload that I had saved into our images, and I would just have that image pop out instead of like a blank screen.
Awesome. That's cool. I guess, like, do you have control over the stuff that shows up on the map? Like, and if you do, like, how did you choose what shows up there? Or is it just default?
Right now, it is default. The only things controlled are our markers. We ran into an issue because in order to turn off the markers, you have to use styling. And then you also have to know what kind of marker you're trying to turn off. So to prevent any misadventures, I simply disabled all functionality for any of the icons on the map. So you can use them there as waypoints, but Timmy will provide all of your marker needs.
Awesome.
Who was the UX UI? The UI UX? You, Doug?
How did you know that?
Because honestly, we know each other. I know that Jay Fowler is an awesome, JavaScript coder. Well, I let's be real.
You got me there. I'm back end all the way.
I think honestly we try to go down the CSS route, just pure CSS. We try to use grid, but this felt more like complete for us, and we wanted to spend more time on the actual functionality behind it. One thing that we were having a bit of an issue at the beginning, like it gave us like all the pop-ups and everything, which felt perfect for us. This as well is like another technology that we use. This is a library for drag and drop. So with Material UI, we were able to just style the buttons and focus more on like how it actually worked rather than how it looked. I mean, we like how it looks, obviously, but we wanted to focus more on the functionality.
The drag and drop is on the Material UI library?
No, it's in a different library.
A different library, okay.
Yeah, but with Material UI, we were able to integrate that external library with it.
Okay.
Hey guys, I really like the color scheme that you guys have going on the front end. It's really, really like not. It's really nice to look at. Like a lot of color schemes, I go to a lot of websites. They're really bad. Makes me not want to be on the website. But this is really nice. I just want to ask, like, what did you guys use for front end? Like, was it like React, Angular, anything like that, or what was like the main thing you guys used for, or main things you guys used for the front end?
We used React for our whole front end. We found a site called Coolers, I believe, that helps you create color palettes. So like you kind of choose one color and then it suggests like colors that complement it, which is how we landed on this color scheme. And then it was just figuring out what colors to use on what background.
It worked out really well. So yeah, that website really made an impact, because like this is really like aesthetically pleasing to look at. And I mean, I do development myself, but like front end is not something I I really go with because like I'm not that good with color schemes or anything. I like doing front end. It's a huge pain for me. But like you guys did very well. This is like one of the strongest things I would say about this project. It's really pleasing to look at. It's because you're not gonna want to use a product if it looks bad. It's hard to navigate. Like the placement of everything's really nicely done. It's very clear what your what you as a user will have to do, like the drag and drop feature. So yeah, really nicely done, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Woo, go Tinny.
Go Trip Hikers.
Word. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So okay, yeah. I have another question then because I see Brandon is here, and I forgot which team he was part of, but like I think you mentioned the Chrome extension. Can you just go into a little bit of what you want to do with the extension, or like how, like obviously it might not be a fully fleshed out idea, so like just where you want to take it or anything like that. Like any comment on that, if you can, or anyone really. So.
Yeah, so basically we just wanted a Chrome extension so that while people are searching like say Google or Bing, we are able to if you're searching through their like map or anything, the places that you see on their maps, you're able to click on it, and then our Chrome extension will basically take that the location of that place that you clicked on, and it will save it into your current itinerary or whichever itinerary that you pick. We didn't really talk too much about it because it was more like a stretch feature. We thought that we would get to it, but after our first version, we thought that it's something that we'd have to worry about after.
Yeah, of course. Like, no, I understand it was a stretch feature, and that's like an after the fact. Yeah, but it was really cool how you guys thought about doing that because it makes like efficiency of like doing anything. And this app is really about making someone's itinerary more efficient. So that's just gonna add more of a what's it called layer of efficiency, if that makes sense. Because everyone uses Google. Like, who doesn't use Google? Like, I'm running Chrome right now. So yeah, it's a cool project, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Question, guys.
Thanks, you.
you.
We gotta move again.
All right.
But let's, yeah.
Thanks again.
30 seconds, if you got 30 seconds.
No, in 30 seconds.
All right. Sorry, Will.
What's up, Will?
Thanks, Tinny.
And then I say, how's going on?
Good, man.
Good.
Good, man.
What's up, Will?
Beautiful. How you doing? Hey, Giovanni, NC Ham.
Good to see you, man.
How are you?
Hey, you guys look amazing.
Thank you.
So for a quick refresher, we are Trip Hikers. Our app is a portal that connects solo travelers together on any upcoming trips that they may have.
CSS looks amazing. You know that.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think you all won the design contest, even though there's no contest.
Thank you. We worked really hard on that, especially in the past 2 weeks. It was just strictly design.
What framework did you use?
For most of it, it was vanilla CSS. But for things like our buttons and our header, we used Material UI.
Okay. Question, this project, this app, it's certainly more ideal to be on smaller devices. Obviously, you guys apply mobile first. You know, let's start everything from, you know, the breakpoints of a small screen. Do you guys see this app working better on smaller devices as opposed to the, you know, big devices? What do you think that needs to be done in order to have it like properly working on a mobile device?
For now, it's working like a better like in the computer, but our future implementation, and we're gonna work on our CSS in order is going to be working on the phone, because most like people is going to use this trip hiker while traveling, so they're going to use it on their phone. So because we didn't have like enough time, we just like has to work in our main goal of the trip hikers. That's why we is going to be in our future implementation.
Whether it's an API?
Giovanni decided to use a lot of different APIs on this page. Giovanni decided to use a lot of different APIs on this page just for user friendliness, and it was a great choice.
I mean, yeah, if you're a hiker, you need to know the weather.
Tell me about that location. How does that work? The locate me button.
Oh, so the locate me button is not even part of the Google API. We actually built that ourselves and just laid it over. So what it's doing is that it's a function that calls your browser's native geolocation, and we get returned some coordinates, and then that coordinates gets handed off to our Google Maps. And there's a couple of arguments going on with panning and zoom levels, and just putting the cursor where that exact location is. Being that array gave the permissions, it will ask you right away whether you're on mobile or on your laptop to give permissions to the website. And we thought it was useful in case you're at the actual location and you were thinking of uploading an image and you weren't sure exactly where you were on the map. Like, for example, if I wanted to post at home right now, I would have that already set for me. And then just for a user experience, you know, I can just type name, description, and upload the photo right away.
Great. That's so cool. I didn't know it was a native API that could get that specific. I thought it was like just like a city, you know. I didn't know it give you coordinates.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of arguments that we're handling. There's definitely a lot of APIs. For example, we have Place ID, autofill, geolocations, the Google Maps, and then even it's coded so wherever we go in the world, you know, we're fetching data for the coronavirus updates, currency for that from your location to that location, and just the local weather and the time zone as well.
So you mentioned that you prompt the user to allow like the geolocation permissions. Do you provide any way to turn it back off?
For the moment, we did not think about that. Due to certain time constrictions, you know, there was a lot of features we were trying to implement, and just a lot of things going on in such a time frame. Like, I feel like even the presentation, you know, we had a lot of features that we couldn't show off, unfortunately. But
no, it's totally understandable.
Something we should consider.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
The currency API was a good idea too.
Yeah, as due to everything going on with COVID, having the travel advisories was a really important thing for us. Because, you know, some countries banning travel from others. So we just want to make sure we're up to date.
I'm interested in the, like, when you do the city search, like, how'd you get the autocomplete to work? What are you using for that?
The autocomplete input itself is using Material UI for the design. And as far as the functionality goes, I think Giovanni can speak more on that.
Yeah, so as I was referencing before, we're using a lot of Google's information we chose because Google just has an immense database, especially worldwide. And there's a couple of arguments going on. So as soon as you choose a country, the city search is specified for that country. So it won't look beyond. So any input I decide to put, you'll say Australia. And then if I decide to go ahead and change, I don't know, to the Bahamas, we'll be able to see that it updates and you know, everything is coded. So the Bahamas shows up. And like we said, that gets handed down to convert into coordinates, and we get the map information and all the information of the country.
So every time you type a letter, it's making a request, and that's coming back from Google's API?
Correct.
Cool. Well, that's exciting. Any questions from anybody else? We got 4 minutes left.
Yeah, there was a lot of features we couldn't show off during the demo that we're really proud of, like our filter feature, hiding. We have on a trip completion, when you create a trip, you have the option to go with on the trip your gender only. So if you identify as male, and you have the option to choose men only on your group type. And if you're a woman, it won't show up on your trip feed. That trip won't show up on your trip feed because you do not meet that restriction.
And also our future implementation, we want that we translate the whole app that can be used like in the whole world.
Yeah,
Really good, guys. It looks really good. I salute you guys.
Thank you. Our group has definitely went through the ringer during this time constraints and aligning up our schedules. I work overnight, so it's hard for me to find the the right time to meet up with the group. But showing off what we have is it's made us all proud.
Yeah, I think you all did a great job.
Thank you.
I know, yeah, there's a ton of features, and I know the amount of stuff that goes into this, so.
Yeah, the filters look really good. Wow.
And Siham had surgery, so.
Yeah,
I think definitely scheduling was probably the hardest thing that we had to go over. It wasn't even the code itself. It was just, group work and just staying on task. There were times where we couldn't even like live pair code. So we were sending each other photos and waiting for updates and just showing the code off and sending videos. Like it was a lot of work trying to get it together.
Yeah, see, like I think a few days after her surgery, Siham built the drop-down nav bar like a champ, and it was really awesome.
Yeah, that was tough for me. I have to come back for the work, like I said, as soon as possible. And make up also like having like a meeting, like to find out where the app to get it back like to track.
Yeah, that's good practice if you ever join a fully remote organization where people work asynchronously. You can like say, hey, this part's done, and then you just wait because your teammates in Australia or whatever, and it's like, all right, I just got the notice. Thanks, y'all. Please go to the next room.
Good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for your questions and your time.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming.
Giovanni.
Good to see you, man.
And then there was just us. RJ, I'm curious about how you heard about us. What is your relationship with Pursuit?
Tomer, I'm on the same team as Tomer Avadia, and he just said through the work chats, like, hey, there's this program that does this thing. I think it's really cool. And I was like, oh, I think that's really cool too.
That's awesome. That's so cool that you came. Y'all.
Yeah.
Will.
RJ, I appreciate that a lot. The more the merrier. I heard about Pursuit from a meetup, and then now I work here, which is pretty cool. So
AfroLink.
AfroLink.
Guys.
Check it out.
Hi guys, we're AfroLink, and we're the application that connects Black business owners to the community.
Trendy. And beautiful CSS, I guess, Maria Lisa, as usual.
No, it was a combined effort.
You are the one with the
Maria.
we know.
We'll be happy to take some questions if you guys have any.
It looks amazing. So what kind of, I've been asking this to other groups, but what kind of, for the CSS, what kind of framework do you guys use, and how did you implement the carousel?
For the general design of the site, there is no framework. The only framework that was used was Bootstrap for the carousel, and for the hamburger menu.
Okay.
Everything else is just straight CSS. Yeah, it was actually pretty simple to implement the carousel just with the Bootstrap package. And by following the documentation, it was just super simple. Just plug in the picture that you like, plug in the caption, and really simple to do. The pagination, though, which can be found in a search feature, this was something that was done manually. I was able to follow a YouTube video and just implement this without any packages. So if this is a poor example just because it's just one page, but if we were to go to, let's say, clothing and accessories, there's a few more pages that you can sift through just to go through all the businesses in our database. I'm not sure if we highlighted this earlier, but these are all actual businesses that you can contact and go to. None of them are fake. They're all real businesses.
They're real businesses?
Yeah, each and every one of them are actual businesses that you can find in New York and beyond.
Did you put it manually, or you found an API?
This was actually our biggest challenge, which was gathering all the data for the businesses. We could not find an API where we could source only Black-owned businesses in New York, but we did find articles. So with the articles, what we did was we used web scraping with a package called Cheerio, and Kong actually has the code. So if he is kind enough, he will show you.
Yes, I'm
He and
ready.
I worked on this very early on in the project. I would say maybe the first week or so that we can gather all the data that we needed to put into our database.
But Elisa, there is a, I don't know if you follow it, on Instagram, there is a page that is called Black Owned Brooklyn.
Yes.
So what they do is just all the businesses in Brooklyn that are Black owned, they are posted right there. They have like 95,000.
Oh yeah, we've used it, especially like in the ideation. We found, and that was many of the reasons why we created AfroLink, because like there are definitely other items that produces information but doesn't make it too accessible. Like who wants to really, like, I've been on I'm sorry,
Official?
no, not official Black Wall Street, but the one that Will had mentioned. And they have an Instagram and a site, but for the site, it wasn't like, even though we could go through it, it wasn't the kind of information that we really want our users to find and make it easier for them.
Right.
And we also were able to get a lot of businesses that were obscure. Like people would tell us, we would ask people, like kind of like user research, do you know any Black-owned businesses in your neighborhood that you feel like could be on our website? And we would get a list from people and just plug it into our database like in that way.
Yeah. This week, what was scraped was translated into a Excel document. So as we were going, we continued to just add businesses. So we have in total that isn't on our live site yet. We still have under 400 businesses in New York City. So the web scraping definitely added to that, along with just our personal connections. And once we conclude here today and in a few days moving forward, we're going to push the rest of that information so that all of the businesses that we've compiled will be accessible.
Most of the apps.
Thought about.
Oh, I'm
sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying that most of the apps that you guys presented today, which I was telling the other group before that I went to the capstone last year both days, in this capstone, by far all the apps looks like really good. Like I would say, wow, it's a very big difference. Most of the apps that I've seen today are the implementation and the use that the client will give to it is going to be through a small device, through a cell phone or a small device. Do you guys have visualized how do you want this to look on a small device? Did you, when you did the CSS, you think you thought about mobile first?
We're actually, like Kang said during the presentation, we're about 90% for going for mobile scale. There are just a few little things that we have to tidy up, but as we were building the CSS, we were actually doing media queries at the same time. So nothing went without looking, you know, in responsiveness. You know, we were making sure that it was accessible for everyone and making sure that it was responsive for every screen size. But like I said, there's only a few little divs here and there, maybe the footer that we have to adjust. But other than that, it's pretty much responsive. You could use it on your cell phone.
Go ahead and enjoy it. Search for that Black-owned business on the go.
Yeah.
Send a link to your friend. Let them know that they can do it as well.
Yeah.
If they just don't mind a little footer bothering them a little bit, but that's only temporary.
That's going to get fixed in the near future, for sure.
Really good, guys.
Jimmy, you had a question?
Yeah, have you thought about like having a way for people to submit businesses? That way, like if this thing blows up, then people will be like, oh, put this on here, put this on here. And then you got to think about how to validate too. But
right. That's why we have the business owner sign up feature, so that somebody who identifies as a Black-owned business could easily go to our website, put in their business information. We also want to put something like a contact us, so that if somebody has like a business that they want us to feature or something like that, we could look it up. But that's definitely on the list.
yeah, and in addition, just one more thing is we're talking about this whole time is add a claim this business feature so that we can we can validate that business and actually provide them with an account so that they can also have the access to the business owner features on our site as well.
That's great. Yeah, I think that would be really useful. Because like you guys have, this is an app already, right? It's working and you can like start promoting it, right? And it could totally catch some traction and then you got that problem of like, how do we deal with all this traffic and like
that's okay. That's a good problem.
wanting to be on the site, you know? Yeah, that is a good problem.
Link in the chat.
That's right.
Link in the chat if you want to check it out.
I thought Ajay has a question.
Oh, I was saying, yeah, you mentioned in your presentation that you were planning on providing the data that you scraped and manipulated to as an API. Like, how are you hosting that, or like, what are your plans for hosting that, and what does happen if it blows up?
Let's not think about the worst possible case. But
we're programmers. We think about the worst possible case.
Exactly.
But yeah, before that, you know, we want to like make a new repository to host our API. So separate from our capstone project. That's first thing. But before hosting, we have more data to want to enter into our API. Right now is only 1/3 or like half of like what we web scraping. We want to like make that like at least like 400 business to show us to the public. Right now is only 169 into our backend. Yeah, we want to do that. And where else put it?
No. You said it all. There's definitely more information. It's currently hosted on Heroku for the purposes of today. But as far as moving forward, Kong has said we are going to set up another repository and host that as well.
Fantastic. So we're out of time. I got the message. You've got to move on. But thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank
you, guys.
Congratulations.
Have a great night.
Awesome.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Will.
Oh man.
Go, Rudy.
Oh, it's so good to see you.
Man.
Hey, Will. What's up, Will?
Yo, how are you guys?
What's up,
Hey.
Jimmy's here too. Oh man, the gang's all here. This is awesome.
Well, just letting you be, guys.
We could go home. We could go home now.
Yeah.
Okay, we can go. That's great.
Hello.
What's going on, Will?
I was telling the other guys that I remember the day that you and I talked about this app. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Like at the beginning, like okay.
That was way long ago when I had the idea.
Yes,
Oh
that was like
man.
Marvin, he put it out. He put it out.
Actually,
100%, yeah.
I remember talking to Marvin about this app like back in like October. Like it
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
a coffee break, and we
Yeah.
sat down, and I was just like, "Oh, so what are you thinking about doing?" And then like he
I
just
was like,
went on a
boom.
whole like.
Yeah, I think
thing.
it started from like I was in Will, we were like I was like in your car, right? We were like hanging out. And
Yeah. That I told you that I have an idea about that
yeah,
too.
and I was like, what about? And then that happened, and then like I think like literally a few days later is when I was hanging with Henry, and that's when I told him that was crazy. It's awesome. Time flies, huh?
So awesome.
Well, I'm really excited for y'all. I think
It-
you made a killer project.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joey.
What? Say it again, Ashia. You're cutting out.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to ask Will a question.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah.
Since you actually heard the idea from Marvin initially, and now you're seeing the app in its functionality, what do you think?
I think that that's huge. Like when you were able to put your ideas, in this case, like on the screen. I was gonna say on paper, like you actually are looking at it. You guys went through, you did a big journey. Like I was telling the first group that I was checking on old pictures and watching old videos and all that, and just it cracked me up, like the questions that we used to ask, and now you guys are deploying websites, and this it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing.
Yeah.
It looks amazing, great. All of the projects and all the apps, they are on the same level of execution, and as well on the same level of professionalism. Like most of the CSS, it's like all of them are A plus, like this one could be better, like Isaiah's in that project is gonna look good because Isaiah is there. No. Like all of them, they look good, and it speaks, great things about you guys. I congratulate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that, man. And I'm also happy that you made it. Like,
I'm so happy. It's so good to see
man.
you.
If you wouldn't reminded that to me, I wouldn't figure it out. So, what was the biggest challenge that you had?
Kevin,
take it away, Kev.
Our biggest challenge was trying to implement our notifications. So basically, when we looked at the documentation for Google Cloud Firestore, it wasn't very clear at first. But after we consulted our mentors and went through a lot of trial and error, we were able to learn how to use it, which was we create documents and collections, and I could share the code.
I didn't see it.
So basically, after we create a configuration with Firebase, all we have to do is just import this DB from Firebase. And basically what that does is it integrates Firestore with our application. And then from lines 23 to 32, so this is a client contact form, which means this is the form where the client is trying to book an artist. And right here, when we're handling the submit, we're creating a collection that holds a document with the user's ID. And then in that document, we're also creating another collection. So it kind of acts like a hierarchy structure. And in this collection, there's messages. And then in that collection, we're gonna store all the artist information so that we can pull it from the other side. And I think this was what we struggled with the most.
Yeah, all of the projects that were presented today, they all had like one really nice feature that the other one didn't have. Like for example, in your case was the notification, and in Docs was the sign in with Google, which was great.
Right.
All the projects you guys had something that made it special, and that was that was yours.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's cool. Ay, ay, ay.
Are you going to court, Marvin, with that suit?
Oh
Yeah,
man, yeah, I know. It looks like a court suit, right? So I had another thing planned, right? And it was like a time crunch. So there was like a different suit variant. And I went upstairs and I was like, oh, let's just grab this one. I grabbed this one out the closet and I put it on. And I was like, it's like too blue.
Yeah. Marvin looks like he brings flowers on the first date.
I really do. Oh man. It's like that typical movie protagonist who's like late for work and then like taxi splashes on. Like this is the suit, this is like the suit that they would wear. Like that's what I feel like. But it worked out. It worked out. It was like a last minute design choice. The UI UX in the suit's pretty good. So I like that.
Nah, you sharp though. You sharp. I'm hating. I'm hating.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. That shit's fine.
Henry doesn't even know tie. He's
It's a clip on all day.
Oh man, I had to tie this beforehand. Woo, look at that.
So you guys know that this I was also telling the other groups that most of the projects are the use that the client is going to give to the projects are going to be mostly on mobile devices and small screens. Do you guys took that in consideration for CSS? Mobile first when you make it responsive. What you think about that?
That's actually the cool thing about the framework that we use. We ended up using React Bootstrap. It's really responsive, creating like a design template in there. The cool thing about Bootstrap is that we could make it really responsive. To be honest, our app isn't 100% responsive, simply because originally we had vanilla CSS 8 weeks into the capstone. 2 weeks before, like 2 weeks ago, literally, we decided to just overhaul the whole design and implement React Bootstrap. And we took a week to do that. And this is the final product. This is the final design. If we had more time, we could have, in my opinion, if we had more time, we could have gone 100% responsive in the app. But you live and you learn. That was one of the things in Capstone. To be honest, all four of us, before even Capstone even started, we weren't as confident with CSS. And so, we went through a lot of stuff in terms of UI UX. Like we got a lot of heat for, just not creating a user-friendly app. And so we just decided, we just gotta think, we gotta come up with a way to have inclusive design and just keeping an easy user experience all throughout the app. And so we ended up picking React Bootstrap, and honestly, I am happy that we did.
Yeah, usually like we all know that CSS, it could be a big hurdle, and specifically if you have like a time frame because you want it to look like perfectly neat. But with implementations like the notification that Karen was explaining, you don't have that kind of time to sit down and how to figure out the columns and the rows and all that kind of stuff. And these frameworks are really useful. I'm glad that it.
Yeah, just to pick up on that, actually, we also, well, originally I sat with, before even implementing Bootstrap, I sat down with Marvin and we spoke about like different types of UI frameworks. So we decided with React Bootstrap. And so we, as a group, we came together. I feel for like that half of that day that we sat down and we spoke about the next steps in terms of the UI UX. We didn't code anything for that, for 12 hours that day. Instead, what we were doing, we were just coming together and trying to come up with a uniform styling. So we wanted to make sure that all the buttons looked alike, all the borders of our boxes looked alike. We wanted to make sure that every single button had the same color. Every single button that was doing the same or was doing certain things in our app was taking in the color that it was supposed to take in. We spent a lot of time on the coolers.co website, and there we were like shuffling like different types of like color schemes and whatnot. And we decided to just go with the black, like I don't know. We just randomly clicked on like a template on coolers, and we had like 6 shades of black. And like I told Marvin, I was like, Marvin, you were black all the time. Let's do a black app.
And actually, it goes with the concept because, you know, music, nightlife, and all that, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we
Yeah.
did. And Marvin was hesitant at first. Marvin was just like, I don't know,
Yeah.
it's black. I
It
don't
was like
know.
it was a bit too like, it was a bit too like.
I had
It was
mentioned the idea like of bringing like, you know, darker tone colors, but they were like against it at first, but then we actually switched to it and it actually looked really good. It came together really well.
Look, the green.
I gotta interrupt. I'm sorry. We gotta rotate, but
Ah.
thank you guys.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you
See you guys
guys.
See you
later.
all later.
Shout out for the final UI iteration. It looks really good, Brody.
Thank
Yeah,
you, thank you.
think so.
I'm getting inspiration from you, Nilver.
Yay.
What's up, Re-Rise? How y'all doing?
Burned out.
Burned out. That's
We're burned
honest.
out.
I appreciate that.
We are.
Yeah, it's like it's a ton of work, and then you're like, I've been working on this for a long time, and then there's a sprint at the end. You're like, I can't actually run anymore, and now you tell me to sprint. That's how
I'm
it
so
goes.
thirsty right now. I didn't even get a chance to sip on water. I'm just like, oh my God.
I have so many empty water bottles around me right now.
Yeah, I drank 2 of these tonight.
How are you doing, guys? How you feel?
Hey, what's going on, Will?
What's up, Will? How you doing?
Deja.
Oh my God.
You guys look great, man. That project that I've looked fire, man. I'm really proud of you guys. It was really cool, you know, like going back to last year, you know, who would have thought that you guys would be
It's like, wow.
you guys, and actually, you know, like I didn't expect anything less than this, you know. I mean, Deja is a master in SQL, apparently.
Oh, right. I'm okay. We had to do Firebase. That's a whole other something.
Yeah. Guys, you guys, you know, you have each one of you have your own strength. Like you know, Nilbert kills every time that he does the CSS. You know, that looks fire. You know, Deja, she get it. John Jay, you know, your JavaScript. You know, you guys rock. I'm really happy for you guys.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
So, what was your biggest challenge?
Oh my.
Everything.
I mean, the search component was a challenge.
Yep.
Video, chat.
Yeah.
You know, learning UI.
What framework do you use for the CSS, Newer?
Material UI.
Material UI. Okay.
Yes.
And it's pretty extensive. So if he's using Material UI, I have to learn how to use Material UI.
We are not using vanilla CSS. I saw the CSS files delete. I'm saying, no, we're doing CSS and
but I would say one of the things that we did face like earlier on, and I'm glad it happened earlier, was our video chat feature, where it just wouldn't work. Like we couldn't get to video chat with each other, and that's one of the biggest things on our app. And it was so weird because even their GitHub, where they had like a demo, a live demo on their GitHub, it also wasn't working. So so that kind of threw us off, where we didn't know where to go or where to look in order to find out how to solve this issue. But Corey told us to go back to the GitHub and look through the issues, and you'll see somebody that probably have the same problem as you guys, and they probably have a solution. And right there in the issues, we found out what the problem was where the loading component just kept getting re-rendered, and what we had to do was skip that loading component.
Right. Do you guys what I was telling I've been asking the same question to the other groups. Most of the apps that were presented today are, you know, meant to be used mobile. You know, like you guys took that in consideration, mobile first, while designing the project. What do you think about that? Like, it is responsive?
Yes, it is mobile responsive.
That dashboard is definitely responsive. Other parts of the app, we still needed to work on the responsiveness, but that, I mean, it was always something in our list of like to-dos. Like, it needs to, like, we wanted this to be accessible. We want this to be mobile ready. So we kind of have it planned out on how we were going to do that. And so, I mean, and here with the dashboard, you can see, you know, this is where we were going. The user profile is responsive. The chat feature was built to be mobile ready, but it's not fully responsive. But it could easily be, I mean, in terms of how we structured our code, how we compose the components and features in the app, that enabled us to like this, right, the dashboard, I did this in less than an hour in terms of making it responsive and the way it looks now. Because as we were building, you know, we were taking that into account, like we need to be able to code these components and compose them in a way that we can render them, you know, be able to render them on mobile and have it be, you know, as beautiful as it looks, you know, on the desktop.
How does the notification count thing work? I'm interested in that. Is it a number with styling, or is it an icon, or what?
It's basically a badge. So essentially, chat. So it's based on the chat. It's not based on the individual messages. So I mean, if you can click on one. Once you click on a chat, or if you click in the input, it clears the unread message status. And basically each chat has a Boolean that says whether it's been read or not based on the last sender.
And how are you marking things as read? Just by opening it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so once that's, you know, that in Firestore that switched to a true state, it'll clear the unread. If you are not the last, if the current user is not the last sender.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah. And so it just takes account.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I remember doing a notification thing a long time ago, and I had a hard time like figuring out the state of like what counts as read, what counts as unread. Like, how many things should I show at once? You know, like should it always be like one, like 0 through 9, or like can I do 10? Like what's gonna fit? You know, it's actually pretty tricky to think about.
Do you guys consider hosting this app? You know, put it out there.
Yeah. Got a link up?
Yeah, the
Oh,
link
there it is.
in the chat. Yeah.
Links in the chat.
Okay. Well, it's not. Oh yeah, it is. I saw it now.
Okay, down here.
It is hosted and deployed.
So we got 1 minute left. Time for last questions, and I'm going to send the link in 1 minute. I'm going to direct everybody to go back to the main Zoom room, which I will send the link for right now.
I hope this isn't like a sore point or anything, but you were working with only 3 people, it looks like, whereas most of the groups are 4. Like, was that a challenge, like working, I guess, short staff?
I would jump in and say something. I do want to commend my team. I want to commend them because one thing with me is that on Saturdays, because of my religion, I can't attend class and I don't work. I don't also do any work. So usually on the weekends, on Saturdays, they were definitely a two-man team where I wasn't available to help or do anything. But I want to commend them because as soon as Sunday hit, they fill me in on everything that I missed out the day before, and I was able to jump in and add to whatever was being done.
Hey Jones, we've been together for like almost a year, and this is the first time that I noticed that you've never been on a Saturday.
This is the first time you noticed? No way.
I know. Like you've been so focused. You know, just like, oh really? He's never done a Saturday.
Every Saturday, miss.
I do think
That's
we
awesome.
were at a at a disadvantage with just 3, but I think there were advantages to that too, because there were just the 3 of us and we worked so well together and we had a clear vision. Like once we had our vision, that was it, and there wasn't much. We just made it happen. And I think just having 3 people helped that a bit. I mean,
I'm
else, but
I'm really impressed. Like if you told me, oh, one of these groups has 1 fewer people, I would not have been able to guess which one.
Yeah.
Thank you for that compliment.
All right, Joel. I'm gonna encourage everybody to go back to the main room. Let's send the link. We'll debrief there.
You guys look good. It was great, man.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.